Jays. They've sent out a 1st of May Day call to Jimmy Key. He has 8 wins in his last 9 starts. Nolan Ryan's on the mound for Texas, and he rewrites the record book every game he plays. CTV Sports presents Labatt's Blue Jays Baseball from Arlington Stadium in Texas. It's game 2 of this mini-series between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Texas Rangers. Hello everybody, I'm Fergie Ulver, and are you in for a treat tonight? A pitching matchup that features the ageless wonder, Nolan Ryan, who can still throw in the mid-90s with his fastball, against the finesse of a Jimmy Key, who from 60 feet 6 inches can still thread a needle with the best of them. So it's power against finesse tonight. Now, here's Don Chevrier and Tommy Hutton.
Fergie, the Blue Jays begin May having gone 12-9 in April. That's the same as April of 1990, 14-14 last year in May. I think the team can do better than that this time.
Well, I think so, Chevy. And what I saw in the month of April, I saw a couple of surprises. In the starting lineup, Mark Whitten, the way he's been hitting the ball with his 14 RBIs, and Devon White. A lot of people weren't sure what Devon White would do in that leadoff spot, and he has done it all. How about the pitchers? Mike Timlin, he's done the job in the bullpen. Dwayne Ward, I don't know if you could call it a surprise, but certainly a big plus.
Jays getting their first test against the West. It's Texas Series on to Kansas City after this tonight. Ryan and the Rangers are set to go on CTV. Breeze blowing. Tommy, you know to enjoy it in the spring. We come back in July. You can add about 25 degrees to this temperature here.
It's nice to look up at that scoreboard, the digital degree marking of 79 right now, because you and I both well know that back in July when we come back home, and there you see it, it'll be a triple digits when you look up at the scoreboard. But this is a fun atmosphere. I've always enjoyed coming to Arlington Stadium. It's a nice ballpark. It's a good field to play on. Most of the infielders and outfielders enjoy this infield and the outfield. The grass is very cut short, and it's also very fast, almost like AstroTurf. And speaking of fast, here comes 44-year-old Nolan Ryan, who still can throw in the 90s.
And a rousing ovation from his Texas fans as he takes them out against the Toronto Blue Jays. And this, the little ballpark that grew, it was a high school stadium, kept getting bigger and bigger as the Rangers' relationship with the American League progressed. But the story, of course, is Ryan, one of the rarities in all of professional sport, and one of the great mistakes in scouting, because when he was signed by the New York Mets, he was a 10th round draft choice back in 1965. So a lot of people didn't really know what Nolan Ryan was going to be all about. He was then dealt to California for Jim Fergosian, one of the worst trades of all time, December of '71. Fergosian now the Phillies manager. So the lineups for today's game are brought to you by the Game Genie, the video game enhancer by Camerica. Nolan Ryan has owned a lot of hitters. He absolutely possesses Devon White. 1 for 22 is White's record against him lifetime. Roberto Alomar hits next, then Kelly Gruber. And Joe Carter in left field. John Olerud at first base. The next two have never seen Nolan Ryan yet. Mark Whitten and Glenn Allen Hill DHing. The catcher is Greg Myers, and the shortstop, the switch hitter, Manuel Lee.
And behind Nolan Ryan, the defense for the Texas Rangers, Jack Doherty in left field, Gary Pettis, 5-time Gold Glove winner in center, Ruben Sierra in right, Steve Buechele, Jeff Hewson on the left side of the infield, Julio Franco plays second base, Rafael Palmeiro at first, Mike Stanley will catch, and 44-year-old right-hander Nolan Ryan. Last time out for Nolan Ryan in 8 1/3 innings against the Cleveland Indians, he threw over 130 pitches. There was some question as to whether he would take his turn tonight, but they decided after seeing him throw on the side between starts that he was ready, and he certainly is, and so are we.
13 runs batted in. Anderson, who made history of his own today, as you saw earlier.
Professional. He's in no way going to show up the home plate umpire at this point.
Up high, and he strikes him out. Let's go to no one count. soft roller to second base. Franco throws him out. So quickly, 2 gone, and Kelly Gruber will try his hand next, the Jays' third baseman. Able to get from this umpire, it appears.
They'll softball a little bit.
He walks Gruber up and in. I wouldn't think a pitcher with his talents would have to even consider cutting a baseball.
That time the fastball just gets away from him, and somehow Kelly's able to back away.
Joe Carter up next. He sailed hitless last night for just the 4th game this season. He sits safely in 10 of the last 12. That pitch down and away. Kelly stumbles, gets caught, and they've got him in a rundown. The ball is dropped and he's safe. A bizarre episode between first and second base.
First catcher and started to go, and then realized that it didn't get by far enough, and then got caught in that twilight zone. So Palmeiro does the correct thing. The mistake here is that Franco gets the ball to Palmeiro too late, and he really never had a chance to make the catch cleanly.
Pops him straight up. Back of the bag at second. Julio Franco makes the call and records the out. So much ado about nothing, and Ryan gets the job done for the Rangers. They're coming to bat in a moment. The Texas lineup is brought to you by the Game Genie, the video game enhancer by Camera Guy. And it features Gary Pettis in center field, Jack Doherty in left, Rafael Palmeiro, the ex-Chicago Cub, at first base. Blue Jay killer Ruben Sierra with 2 home runs last night, bats cleanup. Julio Franco at second, DHing as Juan Gonzalez. Mike Stanley catches tonight. Steve Buechele's at third base. The shortstop is Jeff Houston against Jimmy Key, looking for his 5th consecutive victory.
Here's a look at the Blue Jays defense in the outfield from left to right. Joe Carter, Devon White, and Mark Whitten. Kelly Gruber, Manuel Lee, Roberto Alomar, John Olerud around the infield. Greg Myers will catch Jimmy Key on the mound.
Blue Jays pitching coach Galen Cisco. Jimmy Key is 4-0. Why has he been so successful?
Well, Jimmy's put his A game on the field, and when he does that, he gets his breaking ball over almost at will, and specifically when he's behind hitters, his changeup has just been excellent, and he's spotting his fastball in and out excellently. And
used by Galen Cisco. Jimmy Key will need that A game out there against Nolan.
He had a great bat over the years with the Angels. Line to Gruber. Very fine catch by the Blue Jays third baseman to take care of Pettis. At 402, just 118 here this year. It's that hard. Gruber tested again. Up with it smartly, and the throw is there. 2 fine plays by Gruber. 2 outs, and Rafael Palmeiro is next.
You did right-handers. John Olerud did the same. Why do you think that is?
Well, because I concentrate a little bit more. I try to see the ball and try to work the whole field, hit the ball the other way. Against right-handers, sometimes I pull off the ball and it causes me to hit ground balls. I think John Olerud does the same thing. If you ask him, he'll go with the pitch, and he stays in there a little bit better against left-handers.
Way up in center field. Tracking back is White. He has room. Makes the catch for the 3rd out. So a long, loud 3rd out from the bat of Palmeiro, and the Rangers are gone on Labatt's Blue Jays baseball.
The outside part of the plate.
Jim Sheeta just paid him back. Still owes him one the way I figured. That's a strike. Olerud looks at it. Strike 3. Let's go to Fergie.
Team, his exercise routine that he goes into.
The sky, though. He gets the call there. Back-to-back strikeouts. 2 gone here in the 2nd. Well, this was the day that Lou Gehrig took himself out of the Yankee lineup and never did return. May 1st, 1939.
Well, everyone knows that Lou Gehrig replaced Wally Pipp, who played first base that day for the New York Yankees. Babe Dahlgren.
That later on on after he could not play baseball anymore. He worked for the city of New York.
Strong, because all of that goes into the pitching. There it is. There's that curve.
Frozen. Absolutely frozen right there. He strikes out the side. 4 Ks on the night for Ryan as the Rangers go to their half of the second inning. You're watching Labatt's Blue Jays baseball from Texas.
Last year he hit .373 against the Jays. And this is a young man, you look at 25 years of age. He already has 118 lifetime home runs.
Before last night, he hit 2 home runs against the Jays in 1 game. To 73. Oh, fooled completely by that pitch. That's the finesse of a Jimmy Key that Fergie alluded to at the outset of our telecast. 1 out here in the second.
For the real purists, this is fun tonight, watching Jimmy Key paint and Nolan Ryan fire, but
in the last 8 games to up his average from 147 to 239, getting back to where he should be. Well, his first 2 homer game was the night of Nolan Ryan's 6th no-hitter. Here's Lee with a test, and he's dropped the ball. He had it there in time, but it popped out of Olerud's mitt.
Pitch a little bit. Nice play by Manuel Lee to get over and get in front of the ball. Slips just a little as he plants, and the throw is low, but it's the short hop type throw that should be picked by a first baseman. It's been a struggle for John Olerud, working on his footwork, working on getting to the bag, even though that's to the backhand. That's a short hop that should be picked more.
In just 128 games last year, look what he's done this year already. But last year, at 128 games, over 100 runs driven in and 28 home runs. Back to that question about the last to victimize the Jays for 2 home runs.
Well, we know it was last year.
Last night.
It wasn't this year.
Joe Carter, thank goodness he will not do that to them anymore. Gonzalez count with Franco at first. 1 out. Rangers trying to get Nolan Ryan a lead. Gonzalez hits that pretty well. Mark Whitten's going back. He'll take it off the wall. The great arm, though, will hold the runner at third base. Franco had no thoughts of coming home.
Nolan 2 with a handful of no decisions. So he's never won a ball game here in Texas.
That is ball 4 to load the bases for Buechele.
At that point, he'd averaged about 150 games a year.
Not very deep. Coming on from left field is Joe Carter. Franco will stop right there. No chance to score from that range, from that arm. Very little power. But the Rangers would settle for a Houston single right here.
Bailing as it was, not seeing a lot of left-handers.
Key will take care of this himself. Olerud squeezes it, and the Rangers leave the bases loaded.
That was a good pitch.
To get out from under. 3 stranded, no score through 2 on Labatt's Blue Jays baseball. His major league career.
Now the thing that Greg's going to have to continue, even though he's been catching a lot as the season progresses, you still have to do some working out. Playing alone isn't going to just keep you in shape and get you strong.
On the first pitch in foul territory, Buechele has it. Yes.
And it's funny, if you could only pick this up as a hitter, Nolan only grunts on the fastball.
And he's grunting now, I'll tell you. Strikeout number 5 for Ryan.
Well, you see the fastball, then what does he do?
Nothing approaching that here. That's his 6th strikeout. He's retired 7 straight, breezing past Blue Jay hitters. From deep in the heart of Texas, Labatt's Blue Jays baseball.
Less of that.
Much less.
By the name of Omar Moreno. Remember him with the Pittsburgh Pirates?
Redirected by Key, and it's one of these plays you talked about it the other day at the Skydome, Tommy, that the pitcher, and he knew it right away, wishes he had never touched.
You can see what Bobby Valentine's trying to do here early in the game. He had Doherty up there, and not too often do you see a number 2 hitter try to bunt with 2 strikes.
Warning track to Devon White, first time out. 3-run 15th inning. Rod Black will have more on that later. Solid single from Palmeiro at the feet of Witten sends Pettis to second base with 1 out. Over at third base, it's past Gruber, and the Rangers will get a run. Myers snap throw between Kelly's legs. Pettis scores 1-0 Texas. That he might have had him.
I'm not so sure. Pettis got a pretty good jump, and you can see he's about ready to slide.
Ooh.
It would have been close, but what happened, Greg Myers never got a full grip on the ball, and he never really was able to get off the strong throw, and the ball skips past Kelly. Kelly was there to try to block it, but the ball took that skip to his right.
Toronto's second error of the night. Palmeiro the second on the play. Now Sierra to left field. Back and gone into the night sky of Texas. The Rangers lead 3-0. Series.
A breaking ball, he just opened things up and shows the power that he has. The amazing thing about Sierra with his 2 home runs in the ball game last night, 7 times he's hit 2 home runs. That's a pretty good pitch. Look at Myers' mitt.
Rangers lead 3-0 here. Have won 5 of their last 6 games versus the Blue Jays here at Arlington. That streak may just continue with Ryan pitching as Gruber throws out Franco. 2 gone in the inning. Key with a strike to Gonzalez.
But they were called early on. We played them right here in the stadium.
Gruber backs up, the ball plays him, and safe is Gonzalez. The Jays have had their defensive jitters tonight. After Doherty struck out, Palmeiro single, letter in the alphabet for baseball, the E. Great grab by Manuel Lee. Somehow he retained it, and his balance to flip to Alomar, and they get out of the inning, but not before the Rangers wide the range for 3.
Watch this again. This was more than great. This was outstanding. Manuel Lee fully extended. Somehow the ball stays in the mitt. An easy flip for the force.
Remembers their first major league hit, but Alomar doubly so because it came off Nolan Ryan. Lifetime against Nolan.
Hey, what a crazy trade.
How were they to know he'd be a late bloomer? 7 strikeouts now. Well, here's some of the father and son victims of Nolan Ryan. Roberto Sandy and Dad.
We've got everybody in the Alomar family.
The Franconas, the Bonds, the Griffeys, the Schofields, and the Wills.
Wow. A certain guy.
Yeah.
How'd you hit Nolan?
The bottom. Only once did he get Tommy Hunt. And hangs up for the left fielder Jack Doherty. 2 gone in the 4th inning. He has retired 9 straight. 8 strikeouts, 10 in a row retired. Ryan in no-hit range once again here in Texas tonight. Has slammed the door on the Blue Jays with 3-0 lead on the last Blue Jays baseball.
It's going through Jimmy Key's mind right now. He just finished an inning in which he...
Here in Texas tonight. Solid single past Lee. Carter to beat it and limit Michelle to a single. So the shortstop, Jeff Houston, shows bunt, lays down a dandy. Key finally dug the ball out and throws him out. Michelle advances to second on the sacrifice. He made a contribution in the 3rd inning. A single that went off the glove of Jimmy Key got the inning rolling for Texas to score 3.
We talked a lot about stolen bases, the head first slide as opposed to the straight on slide.
There's Pettis, the third strikeout for Jimmy Key.
Was more of an advocate of that straight on slide. This again is a problem that Pettis has had over his entire career. You expect the Incavillas and the Rob Deers and let me just name the rest of the Tiger offense.
Yeah, you expect strikeouts as a team back at what the Tigers have done. Doherty down to 105 now with the 0 for 2 performance tonight. He grounded out, then struck out. Oklahoma to be another planet. Down to Gruber. He'll make the tag on Buechele and take care of the inning that way. Buechele a little bit shocked that the play was coming his way. So Doherty, on the fielder's choice, ends the inning on the tag of Gruber, Buechele.
Good choice by Kelly Gruber. Nolan Ryan will throw more often to left-handers than to right-handers.
In on the fifth, Ulrich did well to make contact. Houston, the shortstop, back to gather it in. 11 in a row set down by Ryan. Now I am between no-hitters. June 11th of last year was number 6. Working on one tonight. Into center field. Playable for Gary Pettis. 2 out in the inning.
Yeah, that's the same thing he did to Glenn Allen last time up. He sees that the young hitter is going after the high fastball, the one that's out of the strike zone, so he's just going to keep feeding it there, or maybe come back with the curve that's out of the strike zone. He goes right back upstairs.
More of the same. Inning is over. Hill goes back to talk to the umpire about what I know not. 9 strikeouts for Nolan Ryan. As long as you swing, the umpire's going to call it. You're 3-0, and this trio will try to add to it right here, starting with Rafael Palmeiro, the first baseman. He launches that to right, but Whitten has room. All held up in the night air, and that's the first out of the 5th inning. Let's pause now for this word.
The way Jimmy Key came back in the 4th inning, even though he allowed that base hit too. So he goes out there even when he has some minor injuries. He had a few of those problems last year, a few little minor nagging injuries.
Key gets this. Smartly approaches the bag. 2 gone.
Players that came up in the Philadelphia Phillies organization. Julio Franco, Juan Samuel, who's now with the Dodgers, and Ryan Sandberg.
Ready for Nolan Ryan. No matter what happens from now on. There's Franco striking out to end the 5th inning for Texas. They continue to lead by a score of 3-0. And let's have on White. Struck out 9, as we have told you. There is the line on Ryan. No hits. Leading 1 pitches at this point, the Blue Jays 6th inning. High and through it goes Myers. They just can't lay off the high hard ones. Strikeout number 10. It goes on and on. Lee makes contact. Coming hard is Pettis to get it. The no-hitter's intact. Against Ryan.
That you see in clubhouses, there's a sign in the visiting clubhouse here in Arlington where the Jays have their lockers, and it's a sign saying any players requesting Nolan Ryan's autograph, limit your request to 2 and do it the 2nd day of the series.
And get in line. There's number 11. Performance we're watching tonight on CTV from Arlington, Texas. 3-0 Rangers on Labatt's Blue Jays baseball. And for Texas, Juan Gonzalez, the DH, starts the Rangers 6th inning. Gonzalez reaching on an error after a double in the 2nd inning. Lifts that into right field. Whitten will come on a couple of steps and take the first out. Hit hard. Lee up with it smartly in the throw to Olerud. 2 gone. Relaxed and ever so ready. They need to go into work right now as Buechele Buechele takes a cold third strike. Jimmy Key struck out 5 tonight. But again, all lost in the Nolan Ryan performance here in Texas. 3-0. Rangers lead, looking to sweep the miniseries from the Jays. Kelly Gruber, the only base runner, on a walk from Ryan, and
With that swing.
moves them in, out, upstairs, probably upstairs here. Nope, down, and gets him for strikeout number 12. If they do guess it's a fastball, as you say, they have no idea about its location. So here he goes to Gruber 0-2. Stanley sets up out there, and that's where it is. Number 13 has been recorded. We are watching an absolute pitching masterpiece here tonight.
This is just incredible, and the thing that you lose sight of in watching him pitch is that fastball runs away from Kelly Gruber. You've seen 3 different types of fastballs here in this inning, but the thing that you lose perspective in is that he's 44 years old.
Well, here they are. 1990 Oakland the last, and the Dodgers before that 9 years earlier. Baltimore, Minnesota, Detroit, and Kansas City. He's retired 18 straight since the Gruber walk. Well, he puts his second man on. Carter reaches the first time since Gruber's walk in the first inning. Which was against Cleveland last Friday. They weren't quite sure he'd be ready to start. Look what he's done tonight. John did pop up to second, a more respectable out, and he'll do it again here. This time the third baseman Buechele in foul territory will collect the out. 7th inning over. Ryan 6 outs away from a no-hitter. Stay with us for history in the making on Labatt's Blue Jays Baseball. Jimmy Key is gone this night in Arlington, and Bob McDonald comes on now. He figured to get some more seasoning in Syracuse, but the absence of Ken Daly due to his dizzy problems and the recurring inactivity for him brought McDonald along to pitch very decently in his limited activity with the Blue Jays. A couple of games, 1 strikeout, hasn't given up a hit or a walk. Division tonight. It's the best he can hope for.
Good pitch. Not a hanging pitch at all. It was down.
Houston, frustrated, becomes strikeout victim number 1 for McDonald. His hit came in the 3rd inning. He stole a base and scored on an errant throw from catcher Greg Myers. He strikes him out. Bases 2, fans 2. McDonald doing his Nolan Ryan impersonation. Himself very well. Single past Alomar keeps the Texas 7th alive. We'll bring up Rafael Palmeiro. In the 3rd inning is 1 for 3.
When he was playing in high school, he'd play in other leagues.
Ripped into left center field. So McDonald starts impressively enough with strikeouts of Houston and Pettis, Doherty, and now Palmeiro, back-to-back singles. Sierra on the right side tonight against both Key and McDonald left-handers.
Thrown 6. He's gone through just about everything.
Gruber up with it. Force play at second to Alomar gets the job done. Good hard shot by Sierra, but to no avail. Couple of hits do no damage to the Jays or McDonald. They still trail Ryan and the Rangers by 3. Nolan about ready to go to work on Labatt's Blue Jays Baseball. Get down to the bottom part of the order. If you look at the prospects, on paper at least, they're pretty favorable for Ryan to continue this.
Mookie Wilson.
Whitten laces that into right field, but Sierra is there. Twice Mark Whitten has hit good shots to the outfield. He drove one to Pettis in center, a no-hit saver in the 5th inning, and now this to Sierra.
Oh, what did he throw Glenn Allen last time? 3 straight fastballs.
Yeah, you'll remember that in the 5th inning, Tommy. And I had a chance to ask Glenn Allen, what he said to the home plate umpire, and he just said, well, are those balls moving? And she just said, yes, they are.
Just the 2 walks to Gruber, and then to Carter 6 innings later. Just a piece.
The Glenn Allen Hill.
number 14. Away from a no-hitter.
And he stayed right in that same area with Glenn Allen Hill all night.
Strike two. That's strike three on the appeal. They give it to him. Lights out in the 8th inning. 15 strikeouts. Don't you dare go away. The strike, all right. All right, Rod, thank you very much. And indeed, along with Ricky Henderson making history this day, Nolan Ryan might join him on May 1st of 1991. Willie Fraser on the mound for the Blue Jays. Franco lifts that up into right field. Heading for foul territory is Whitten and does collect it there. Back to pitch effectively. Forward where you live. Gonzalez hit him. Will go to first base. His career. Gave away. Talk about great timing. Gave away 10,000 tickets for tonight's game. So they gladly pay for this. Into right field. Mark Whitten tracking back. Has to give up on it off the base of the wall. Here's Gonzalez heading for third base. Play at second, safe there with a double to Stanley.
Well played by Mark Whitten. Watch this. Bare hand off the wall and turns and fires. And also give a little credit to Manuel Lee. A little bit of the pick on the one hop. It comes quickly with the tag.
Well, Rangers make a mistake there. They send the runner Gonzalez. He's a dead duck while Stanley takes third with 2 out now.
With the runner coming, a pitch that's not a good pitch to try to bunt. So you can't really fault the hitter.
He reaches for it. Gruber, generous hop. Makes the throw to Olerud to take care of Buechele and the Rangers who strand Stanley, but that's not the story. This man is Ryan, 3 outs away from no-hit number 7. Stay with us right here on CTV, Canada's no-hit network. Eyes of Texas with the eyes of North America are upon Nolan Ryan here in the 9th inning, looking for a career 7th no-hitter at the age of 44. Just 2 base runners. Carter in the 7th inning, Gruber in the 1st on walks. On wide, Roberto Alomar, top of the order, due next for Toronto. White has a hat trick tonight. 3 strikeouts. There have been 3 no-hitters in this state. Strike 2, says Tim Shida. At the knees.
Been that kind of a night for Devon White. 3 strikeouts. Came into the game 1 for 22 lifetime against Nolan.
Franco again. Ryan's an out away. And now the only man standing between Nolan Ryan and the 7th career no-hitter is Toronto's second baseman Roberto Alomar. In the books. The remarkable Ryan has done it again.
was so much time elapsed between the 4th and the 5th and the 5th and the 6th.
This may be it.
I really felt that was probably part of my career that was over with. And really, I didn't think about being in a position to throw another one.
Well, it's a gorgeous night here in Arlington, Texas.
Here comes 44-year-old Nolan Ryan, who still can throw in the 90s. Last time out, he threw over 130 pitches. There was some question as to whether he would take his turn tonight.
You know, people said he was on a pitch limit, and, you know, be careful of him, and he's going to blow out someday.
He's old, his back hurts, his knee hurts. He's not very good in the bullpen. He'd thrown about 19 or 20 pitches, and I'm thinking, whoops, this is not real good.
Tom House came over to me with a pale look and said, you know, this might be the end.
Bobby, we got to get somebody up quick because Nolan doesn't have it today.
You know, I had a real bad feeling in my stomach thinking that I was going to have to be there when he walked off the mound for the last time.
Up high, and he strikes him out. A little soft roll to second base. Franco throws him out. Pops him straight up. Ryan gets the job done for the Rangers.
And when he came in and he sat down next to me, I said, Nolan, what's up? He said, I don't know, but this is one of them our days. And he looked down the bench, and this is a true story. He said, boys, and everybody stops because Nolan's talking. Get me one. That's all I'm going to need today. That was in the first inning.
Still owes him one the way I figured. Olerud looks at it. Strike three.
There it is. Looks like curve.
Frozen. Absolutely frozen.
From the beginning, he was striking out people, and guys were barely making contact. And you could tell by the 3rd or 4th inning that it was going to be special.
And what made Nolan so tough was his makeup. I mean, he came out at you.
8 strikeouts. 10 in a row retired. Ryan in no-hit range once again here in Texas tonight.
And Nolan, what was he, about 60 years old at the time? I mean, it's still throwing about 94, 95 miles an hour.
When you go through a lineup, each time you go through that lineup, it gets tougher to get those guys out because they make adjustments. They've seen all your pitches. They know what kind of pitches you have.
Not just the eyes of Texas, but the eyes of North America upon Nolan Ryan here in the 9th inning, looking for a career 7th no-hitter. That's it! Number 7 is in the books. The remarkable Ryan has done it again.
They're all special and unique because that's not something you ever think about when you go out to pitch. You know, you're strictly focused on winning that day, what you have to do to be successful, and you don't think about, well, you know, I'm going to no-hit these guys.
He threw no-hitter that day, and they weren't kidding. He warmed up very poorly. He had nothing, but he was always able to rise to the occasion.
I always wanted my teammates to feel like that I was going to do everything within my power to give them an opportunity to win the ball game, and then I wanted the fans to always be glad that they came, and I always wanted to give them everything I had and appreciated my effort, and they were glad they came to the game that night.